Guys, what's good? What's good? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So, guys, bring you some news. So, David Benavidez has ditched the Canelo Alvarez fight. He said, "Enough's enough. I'm moving on. I want the winner of Beterbiev Bivol." Obviously, Turkey Al Sheikh also said that he wanted that fight for for um, Bivol and he wanted it for Benavidez, the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev, which obviously would be a great fight. A lot of people think that that would be the right fight for Benavidez. A lot of people think Benavidez is naturally a light heavyweight anyway, and he shouldn't be fighting at super middleweight. Many people have called him a weight bully. Um, I personally think that there will be good fights for him. I think that's what he should be fighting. He'd go into those fights as underdogs as well, as an underdog as well. So I think those fights make sense. I really would like to see Benavidez step up against Beterbiev or Bivol. I think all of those fights make it interesting and make it for a good fight. So yeah, I would like to see him fight those guys for sure. Because I think it makes for a very good fight. So yeah, hopefully Benavidez and Bivol and Beterbiev can get in the mix of three Bs and fight each other. Because I think they make for good fights. But I think the Canelo situation's been very disappointing for everybody. It's hard to criticize Canelo because he's a great fighter, he's done everything, but I don't understand about this Benavidez saga. Has been very strange for me, to be honest with you. Very strange. I mean, yeah, very, very strange. And Benavidez now is left. And you know what? Sad thing is that a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Munguia earned this." Munguia, I don't know how Munguia earned anything. Munguia's not fought at 168, and he's going to be fighting for a undisputed title. He's not done anything. He's not beaten anyone yet. Benavidez has good wins at 168. Okay, you could say Andrade was a guy moving up, but he beat Plant, and Plant's a good fighter. And if you're honest, he'd probably beat most guys at 168, Benavidez. So I don't really see why. And most importantly, it's the fight that people want to see. It's the fight that people want to see. You see, like a lot of people say, "Oh, well, Munguia's a good fight. This, that, the other." Well, okay, if let's say Canelo fights Munguia, how many pay-per-view numbers does it do? Now Canelo fights Benavidez, how many pay-per-view numbers does it do? A lot more. It's because it's a bigger fight. It's a bigger fight. Why? Because people view Benavidez as more of a threat to Canelo than they do Munguia. And that's a fact. So that's why it's a bigger fight. A lot more people would pick Benavidez to beat Canelo than they'd pick Munguia to beat Canelo. Because that's just the way people view it. So, at the end of the day, I just feel a bit disappointed because I don't think we got the fight that we wanted to see. And I think the fight that we wanted to see was definitely Canelo v Benavidez, and unfortunately that's not going to be happening. Like I said, I've always been a big fan of Canelo, but I don't understand this situation. I can't really say I don't know why Canelo's doing what he's doing, because it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense because, like, knowing Canelo and watching his career, it just seems really strange, to be honest with you. Very strange how he's moved here. I don't get it, and a lot of people are going to say he's clearly ducked Benavidez. But I don't know. Like, I just think it's a great fight. I think it's a great fight, and it's a fight that should be happening next, really. If we're totally honest, it should be happening next because really Canelo shouldn't be fighting Munguia. That's not really, if we think about it, that, Munguia's not on Canelo's level. And not to say Benavidez is, but Benavidez is a tougher fight. He's a big guy, very big guy. He's a bigger man. And that Canelo should be fighting him because that is the fight that people want to see Canelo fight. Yeah, a lot of people are gonna call it a duck. I just think Canelo could fight this guy. I don't think there's anything that Canelo has to necessarily be afraid of Benavidez. I think that's just a great fight, and I think it should be happening. Really, when you think about it, it should be happening. So it's disappointing, to say the least. It's disappointing because you'd say that it would be a great fight, and unfortunately we're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get that fight. So yeah, it's strange. Because Canelo, like I said, he's a warrior. He's proven that throughout the years. But it just seems there's a reluctancy here to fight David Benavidez. Now, Benavidez fighting Beterbiev or Bivol, those are good fights. Those are very good fights. And I think those would bring credibility, because if Benavidez was to pull off a victory against any of those, then I think, you know, that... See, if you look at the fights out there for Canelo, there's no real big fights. Unless he fights a Terence Crawford, which I don't think that's happening, right? Then really, if you look at it, there isn't anybody apart from the three Bs. Those are the three fights that I think people would want to see Canelo win, that people would be interested about. I think the rest, I don't really think there's anything out there that people would really care about. So Canelo would have to take one of those guys on if he wants to, if he wants the public to really be interested. Otherwise, really, these fights are okay. Yeah, Canelo, any fight he does is big, but I don't really think there'd be that much intrigue, because I think people think Canelo will beat the rest. So yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section, but I'd love to know your opinions, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.